For my AP Computer Science project, I created a simplified version of Brick Breaker, and the programming language I used is Java. So first, I'm going to be giving a brief overview of the code. I have two main classes. One is called Brick Frame. This creates a window to display the game, while Brick Panel contains the actual code and logic for the game itself. So here in Brick Panel, I have several features. First, I have an array list of rectangles. This creates the row of bricks that the ball has to hit. I have an image for the platform that the ball will bounce off of. I have a label for the score so that it will display the user's score on the screen. I have a play button to start the game, a pause button to stop the game, and I have an image for the ball. So this is the platform, it's a black rectangle, and this is the ball. And I paint these features onto the screen using this method called paint component. Now next for the platform, I need the user to move it with their arrow keys. So I have here what's called a key listener. This basically detects that if the user presses the right key, the platform will move to the right, and if the user presses the left key, the platform will move to the left. And these conditional statements basically ensure that the platform stays within the screen. Now next for the buttons, right over here, I have what are called button listeners. Right here is one, and then there's a pause button listener right here. And these button listeners basically start and stop the game. So if the start button is pressed, it will set this Boolean value, start game, to true. And if the pause button is pressed, it will set that Boolean value to false, stopping the game. And lastly, I have what's called a bounce listener. So when the start button is pressed, I add a bounce listener right here. And this basically controls the flow of the game. So here in bounce listener, first I start a timer, and then I check if the start button was pressed. And if it was pressed, I'm going to make the ball bounce using this method bounce right over here. So that you can see it's right here. And this conditional statement basically makes sure that the ball will bounce off the platform. And this conditional statement basically checks that if the ball is, not, like if the person is not playing the game, then, and the ball is just going to sit there, and the user will lose a point. And then it will reset, and the ball will start bouncing again. And I'm going to be showing this in my demo of the game. And this checks that if the ball hits the brick, it will add a point. And this will actually repaint everything on the screen as each action occurs. So I'm going to be showing that up here. So this is the add points. This will add the point value, and it will set the score label to the current point value, and lose points will subtract the point value and update the user's score. So let me go ahead and show you how this game works. So here's how the game will start. So first I click play, and if you see, I'm actually moving my arrow keys so the ball is bouncing off the platform. And if I just were to leave it, the ball will sit there for a while. And actually, if you notice, the user has lost a point. So I'm going to do that again. So it's 7, and now it's 6 points. And I can pause, and it stops the game for me. So yeah, that's my project. Thank you for listening.